Are we back? That's really, really annoying. My internet completely kicked me off for a second there. Let's see, we're back on Twitch, I think. Ugh. Looks like YouTube completely dropped as well. Let's fix this really quick. And we'll have to get everything all set back up here. Um, do that. Go back here. Hopefully we're back. Chat popped out again. That's annoying. Hopefully that doesn't happen anymore. If it does, I will call it early today, just because that's two big interruptions for both streams, right? And that just sucks. But hopefully it'll clean up. All right. Refresh this and make sure it's actually sending things. I think we're okay. Anywho. It looks like we can call some stuff here. So let's do this. We'll switch on the unit here. But these are just strings, I think. What? Stop it. Read only, that's fine. I don't care. I'm not trying to change you. Yes, you're a string. Okay, so plot duration units map. We could do this as oh, that's not exported. Crap. Okay. So we'll have to do that. We'll do this is that. Um, why can't I string you? Oh, because you, okay. That. This isn't going to do anything for me, though, I don't think. Because the seconds are getting, or the units are getting mangled inside of this widget, I think. So that won't help me. Because this is already just a duration. And when we do this, on change for the spinner, it must be to do with this. Set step is 1, set page step is 10. Set auto unit. We're not going to work around their bug. Because we can't do anything from outside here. We'd have to round. Oh, we have truncate. Truncate you to a second. And then the string. But what we should actually do is truncate you to the unit. So we would do then is do switch on the unit. If we're in the second land, we set you to this case minute land what we should do is just do is do that. This. Please stop that. And then we don't have to string these. Maybe string that instead. That. I think that, let's test that. I think that'll help clean up some of that. Do this. Switch you to seconds, then it goes to 60 and not some weird obnoxiousness. And if we apply that, this gets set to 60 seconds. This reloads as 1 minute. That's fine. I change you to 2. Oh, that doesn't work at all, does it? Why not? Oops, that's not what I want. Roll that back. I think it's because this doesn't actually get changed. Okay, we roll this back. What if we just truncated to seconds? Will that give us an acceptable output? One minute, 60 seconds. I said 65 seconds instead. 1 minute, 5 seconds. Okay, that's fine. Did that change? Did I bind you to the same thing by accident, perhaps? Sounds like a thing I might have done. Property types comes after you. Tick time. Duration on tick time. Yep, that's exactly what I did. All right. You go back to where you were. Relaunch you. Try that again. Okay. If I change you around 10 seconds, 1 second, if I was to reload you. If I increase, it's a little wonky, but it's much, much better. The formatting, I don't think I care about. It's probably fine. Still don't like this widget very much, but we'll see if they fix it up. I think we'll leave it that way for now. And see if they give it a little bit of love. Yeah, we'll just go with it. Let's go take a look at this. Vectoration item details. Yeah, fix that. Yeah, fix that. Okay. Get duration widget working a little better. What code editor am I using? Goland by JetBrains. Just go with that. All right. Now, what else are we missing here? We need to add the new button, but the rest of it, delete. We need to get delete working as well. In order to get delete working, our manager, we have a delete item. So we can do that. But we would need to set up custom events for this. Or um We could also say in widget, we need to make sure this is good too. On a change, if the not that if the data, if the ID is not valid, then we do delete item else we do the save here. Either way, we update the display frame. But now we need to be able to add, actually we can just do a test one. It'd be all right. If we do this, just make sure it loads correctly. Leading to is here. Perfect. Okay. So, delete button. On click. We do data struct dot that. Oh my gosh, can't type today. Send change. None of this should matter at all, actually. We just do that. And then here, because we do that, we update everything. I think you're good. Let's find out. Copy this so that we can repeat the test if we want to, real quick. That does not. Oop. We panicked there because it does get deleted, but it doesn't refresh the UI correctly. Why not? Ah, because this doesn't live inside of here. It's actually just update the whole thing. We need this to go away too, but that's fine. It's not writing. Oh, this needs to come outside here so that it happens in both cases. error to things like so. It's actually really handy to not have that doing that just right this second, though, so we're going to leave it for a sec. Effects section, you should be updating, though. Data managers, available items. So why don't you get triggered to update? I guess we can do that, I think. We want to do a confirmation dialogue on that, but that's fine. Let's make sure this gets set correctly then. So then, any word on our next experiment? Not so far. Sounds like he may be in the caves hunting boars. Okay, perfect. That does delete you. Okay. Now. I feel like I should be able to... If I get rid of that... Drat, I probably won't be around to hear the thrilling conclusion of that story. I'm gonna head off to bed. Gotcha. Well, we'll have to see. Maybe it'll be tomorrow, but maybe he'll still have success. I was wrong about waking up at 6 today, though. I woke up at 4. You should stop that. But yeah, you have yourself a good night, and we will catch you tomorrow. What if instead of this we did that? What then? Would that eliminate our need to manually delete? Okay, fix that part. Doesn't clear that, though. Tell him to join the Discord. I run Nix as my daily driver, and I'm quite happy with it. I can share some of the tricks I've learned or config I've built for myself. I did actually suggest that he join. That way, from his phone, he could ask questions. But I don't think he made it in. I don't see anybody new. I guess he might just not have accepted. I think some people haven't accepted the rules and all that and been let in completely. But oh well, maybe he's not a Discord guy, you know? No worries if you're not. If we moved you up here, so that anytime we updated the effects section, we also updated this. Would that make things better or worse? Worse is the answer. Because, okay, yeah, because this doesn't update the effects section when we click on these guys. That's why it's there. Okay. So we'll still have to call delete children here. And if we put you back in, give you your changes. That'll work. I almost want to do like always delete the children. Then we'd have to track what was selected still. It should be fine. I hope. Let's go with that until something tells us otherwise. Get delete button working. Now let's go ahead and add a confirmation dialog to deleting, because that is friendly and helpful. That I'll need to look up dialogues again, so I never remember how to use them. Dialogue. So we gotta create a new body and all this other stuff. Yeah, it's custom. Okay. So, in here, we do new body, like so. New text. Their example is set type core.text supporting. That's fine. We've been using that before. And other things. Set text. Like so. Add bottom bar. core.frame. We do add OK to the bar. Hey, MD, how's it going? Then on click. This gets moved up in there. Is that a subroutine is just a function with push arguments to the stack? Is that a subroutine is just a function with push arguments to the stack and really meaningful only in assembly and Fortran? I don't know what that's in reference to, but okay. Going fine. What about you? Yeah, I'm doing all right. Okay, so you... I forgot to display. D.run dialog. Oh, needs context. So, cancel, just closes it, does nothing. Okay, deletes it. Perfect. Let's do that just to keep it a little tidier, a little less wordy. And we'll do add dialog to delete button click. I don't know what you're talking about, my dude. What do you want about? I knocked my head against the wall lately. Okay, I hope you're okay. Then you should probably be seeking some medical attention. Okay, so we need to add an ad. And to do that, add button. Right now we just spit out a log event or a trace event. We can do. We have an add new, I think, in the data manager. We're still going to need you open. Let's just scoot you over here a little bit. I think we're done in here for now. We have add status effect. And we have a new. Okay. Just gives us a new. It doesn't add it to our list. This, we have a new item here too. Which we actually just build the basics of. Okay. So it would be empty. That would be fine. I wouldn't have an issue with that. So here what we can do is data manager dot new item. Why do we return an error here? It shouldn't return an error. There's no reason to do that. So we can do this. We can add a new item, or create a new item rather. Add the new item. You shouldn't be returning a pointer. It doesn't matter. So we add item, and then we do just update the whole thing, I guess. And then we don't have a way to set that as selected. We do. We have item buttons. Finally not a vibe coder? Nope, not me, sir. Or whatever you are. So we would need to then item buttons at the last index set selected true. Theoretically. Except this is set to on click. And I can't send a click. But what I could do is this. And then tie you up like that. You need the one of them. So that the select is what drives the actual display behavior, but the click just sets to selected. Which I could actually just replace this, I think. I signed that Don't Kill Games petition, and on my YouTube feed is 80% game dev. I mean, that sounds like a win to me. The YouTube feed part. Being a non-UK resident, I have no dog in that fight. Or non-EU resident, I should say. but that didn't fire my... Why didn't you get fired? Would I need to do this before I update, perhaps? No, because you wouldn't exist yet. Crap. Would I call update on you? Glad you didn't work at all. Yeah, but also... Oop, full screen got me. Disappointed in Google for not tracking me enough to build a better recommendation system. Okay. Maybe I need to do that instead, because that's how we're doing it up here, and that works. Oh. Yeah, no, we append you. That should be fine. Why? Actually, you know what I should do? Because we might be on the wrong track here to begin with, because this is kind of wonky. When we add this, because the thing has no name yet, like, this is crap anyway, right? And I was going to circle back and fix that in some way, shape, or form, but maybe let's put this back just because there's no reason to change it if we don't have to. Let's break this out. How do I do this? Add item. Item button, or let's not do that. Let's do instead set display frame. Or set, yeah. We'll pull this out. This goes into here. I deleted one too many things, but that's fine. We'll fix it here in a second. Hang on, let's back that up and look for 1 second here. This is what needs to get pulled out. This becomes just do se.update. So what are you building? A game engine? Yes. What exactly are MUD games? Like terminal-based games? Kind of. Stands for multi-user dungeon. So it's like if you could play Zork online with your friends. They are from they were like the original MMO. This is data struct, which is a Fig Manager status effect. Data struct. Now, up here, replace this with dot set display frame to that. Make sure that all works. And specifically right now, I'm building the editor that edits all the data files for said game. So that adds you still, which is okay, I guess. But everything else seems to be working the same. So, and that adds you still because we still do this. Instead, if we instead did this, we still create the item, but we do set data manager, not that, set display frame to new item. Now, when we do a new, it doesn't appear over here, which is fine. We can add some data, we apply it, it appears because the deal updates itself. Really cool. Is there kind of a preview on how these games will look like, or what you'll be able to build with the engine? Kind of. You open this up here. Why is your website so weird, my dudes? There we go. Okay. It scales very strangely. So this is one that still runs, but this is their client. And you can see that they have extra things like statuses of things down here. You know, the truest, most pure form of this was an old school terminal where you just telnet it in. But this is kind of like a more complicated client. But this is the main, the game as it exists, right? So you have just text that tells you what's happening, and you type things to do stuff. There's a mapper. This one has quests and stuff. Stuff like that. Apparently Twitch fell over again. Having a very bad internet day, it would seem. Just live. Live. Be alive. Okay, so, and then because we saved and because we hooked into all of our existing systems, yes, you appear here. Perfect. If we delete you, you go away, nothing is selected, and you go away. Perfect. And then we don't have to worry about trying to drive selections and all this other kind of madness. Actually, let me just double check here. You don't get selected. You don't appear selected when we do that. We can fix that though. In widget, we do this. When we do the saving, ooh, we do that in here now. How do we want to do this? Kind of a minor thing, but we'd like it to work. So you'll be able to play on your browser. I don't know yet. I have a client for it. So that would probably be a better experience, but the UI library that I'm using should be able to also compile to WASM. I don't know if that's something I want to offer or not. I'd have to think about that. There, the one I just showed, that I believe it's an Electron app, so like it looks browsery, but I'm not using Electron. Um, I guess what we could do is we do this and then we go through. um, Choking on my own spit. The We could do this. Well, the button doesn't store. The selected state. Item button has text. I'd have to also do an ID in here. And then generate. To get the free convenience setter. And then I would need to also set that. That would allow me to run the set selected. So then set ID. Did you not get? Yeah, you exist. There he goes. This, and then let's just pull down that. And then here, on a change, we go through range ID dot, or not ID, SE dot item buttons, if dot item buttons at I dot ID equals equals data struct dot this dot UUID dot string. Here we do se dot item buttons dot set I dot set selected false. True. Really hate the idea of integrating AI into everything and the whole slop out there, but wouldn't be this a good case for an integration where you create a game with this, like this, with no end? Would this destroy the whole vibe of a game like this? Not really familiar with this type of games. If AI worked the way they said it would, maybe. But no, not in the current iteration. I'm not interested in trying to inject that nonsense. It's the same sort of argument that, let AI be your dungeon master for a tabletop game or something, right? If it worked the way they claim it does, yeah, that would be pretty rad, probably. But I'm not interested in playing the slop that it would actually create, right? That's better. I like that. Let me just make sure that we just start adding all the things. All that, click off, click back, everything happy. And here, also happy. Put that back. Delete that. Yes, good. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, good. So item button status effects.go, typegen.go, widget.go. Yes. Hook up add new button to actual add new logic. I would be more interested in doing something like instances or something like that, right? To try to keep the content fresh, where you could add, you know, a dungeon to the world and like limit the participation in that to a group that is preformed or something like that, right? And kind of bring in some of those more modern MMO ideas. You know, obviously you still got to write and build any new content that you add, but I think there would be reasonably enough like compelling ideas to keep endgame interesting. Why people has so big ego nowadays? I don't know. I just talked in a YouTube chat and a YouTuber threatened me with blocking me from chat. I mean, were you sending them weird stuff like you were here? Being really 100% respectful? Yeah, I don't know, man. Okay, so we've got saving working. We've got deleting working. Oh, I need to do a test of this. If you add new, click off, nothing happens. Ooh, yee. I need to make sure I clear. When I add new, I need to make sure I clear. On click, clear that, add a new item. Okay. I also need to make sure that I don't panic if I delete or click delete, like if you think that you need to do that, right? And I don't think I do. Add new, make sure. Yes, that works now. Perfect. Love it. Let's see here. You feel so easy to talk with and so smooth. I like you, man. Really keep that spirit. Thanks. Appreciate that. I'll try. I'll do my best. Do a quick commit for that fix. Ensure we clear any existing data in the display frame. If or not if when we click add new. Delete keyword and Golang. Why we need delete keyword and Golang? You need it for map deletion. Dash AM or dash M. Get dash M. Heard of conventional commits 1.0 standard? Maybe. Let's find out. Let's see here. Map deletion. So there's manual memory management in Golang. I thought there's garbage collector stuff. There is garbage collector. There's no manual memory management. Map deletion as in the deleting an item from a map? Like if you don't want it in your map anymore? Let's see here. Oh, I've seen this before, and I don't care about it at all. I don't see any value in this. If I really wanted to, I've seen it done, and I've done it before at a place that used Jira, where you tag it with the issue. There's other stuff in GitHub where you can relate a PR to an issue. And I would find more value in that, right? I like the Git commits. The main use course, I work solo on that, on this or on other things. If I go, where is it? I almost never use this, but here we are. I think, yes. This is the main use case for commit messages for me. I just want to know what I did in this commit, right? And I don't find that much value in anything more than like a quick, summary of what the commit was about. If I want more than this, I want to just go read the issue that it was linked to, right? It's really just kind of like a reminder to myself, more or less. You believe in Jira and Trello and things like Agile and Sprint and stuff like that? Not really. So Jira and Trello, different projects. Agile and Sprint, different concepts, right? The Agile Manifesto explains everything there is about being agile. Scrum, which is where sprints come from, has nothing really to do with that, other than some people say that it's a way to do agile, right? But as soon as you implement a process, you're on the verge of breaking the Agile Manifesto's value of people over process, right? Because you're forcing these people to do Scrum. Almost always, because Scrum sucks. You just use the basic 3 things, fix cheat. No, don't use any of them. Just tell what the commit was about. All I do. I also don't like, I hate Jira. Jira sucks. GitHub issues is fine. That's plenty. It's very basic. That's all I care about. I don't use them for things that, right now, it's not a public repo, so I don't use them. I don't have Trello, but I do use the GitHub projects. And this isn't really strictly a Kanban board, but I find it helpful to organize my thoughts, right? And organize the things that I think of as I think of them, and chuck them in here to evaluate or look at or do. So the expanded sort of categories here are just helpful to me because I've got, 3 different bits and pieces of this project. So I keep it loosey-goosey with a little bit of structure. Really interesting point of view. Which part? All right. All that is working. What do they call it? Like Yagni, you aren't going to need it. Wise man once said, "Do not overcomplicate it. You can always complicate it. Always make it simpler, and you can always make it simpler." Yeah, kind of. Like balance in everything, right? There are, and you're not going to get it right all the time. But like, there are things that you can say, well, I'm pretty sure I will want this thing. But there's times also when you're like, okay, well, we can build anything. What's the simplest thing that will suit us, right? I'm just talking to you from other side of the earth, so messages take a long time to reach. I mean, yeah, there's the delay in streaming always. But also like I get wrapped up in what I'm doing and I don't always like look at the message in the moment. Like I get to it in a second, but I think we might actually be done with this widget. Let's look at our board. Blocks log out. Oh, yeah. Let's look at our blocks log out. We probably need item details. Blocks log out. Here. We need a frame here. This goes into W because it's the second port of this. And might need a styler. To tell it to grow. Just on the X though. And then this goes into that container. Put that in there. And then you go side by side, that's fine. I don't think I care about a warning container. I just want new text. Parent is blocks logout switch container. Set text. And we'll say it's recommended to block to set blocks logout to true. We need to make this if the effect deals tick damage. Or ticks. Well, tick damage should be or has a tick duration. Then we're going to need this for logic to hide it, but we also need it to be scheme dot error dot base. What do we do for this? Warning text. Notification text. Yeah, base. Okay. Let's run that really quick. Make sure we're in the right neighborhood. We need to center this vertically. It's weird that you wrap there, but not here. Oop, I broke that. It's cool. Let's figure that out in a second. Huh. Why aren't you the samey same? Blocks log out this frame. Um, Align items to the center for one. But let's do that. See if it's better. Yeah, it is. Now, just need to do is couple things. Only show this if blocks logout is false and tick duration or tick duration exists. And that only exists actually if there is a duration, I think. Check my thoughts here. Tick time exists. Yes. Oh God. We can't do that now, can we? We'll just have to deal with grow. We just have to deal with the fact that that's wonky. Could also increase the gap on this a little bit. We can shorten this though, also to if the effect ticks. Because in both cases, in order to have tick damage, it needs to have a tick time. So we'll do that. And that'll look better too. And we'll set the gaps a little bigger. Let's do the set gaps in grid wider so it wiggles less. You do panic on setting the whatchamadealio attribute to modify to none. So those are the things we need to fix, and we'll tackle that tomorrow because it's now just past 4. Normally I stream 4 hours a day, 4 days a week, starting on Friday, ending on Monday. So if you like this kind of thing and you show up here tomorrow at this time, but 4 hours ago, wherever you are in the world, I should be here doing more of it, and I would love to see you again. Thank you for everybody who came and hung out, all the great chats we had today. And if I don't see you again, then you have a great week anyway, and we'll catch you some other time.